So in the beginning, I kind of crashed because I think I was just going so fast that my back tire, it just popped off, because I was just burning that rubber. I'm like that. I'm that guy. You know what? You can't let little stuff like that stop you. You got to keep going. You got to motivate yourself to keep going. You're going to get your little sores, but you got to get back up. You got to brush yourself off and get back up.
To the people out there, you never give up.
Never.
Achieve your goals.
Whatever you believe you can achieve. That's what I've been telling everybody this whole time. You can do anything, just put your mind to it. It's all about your mindset. You got to start off right.
Atlanta, Georgia, heart of the dirty South, world famous for one thing, and one thing only, cycling. That may be an exaggeration, but Atlanta's cycling scene is legitimately one of a kind, with clubs, group rides, pro teams, award-winning trails and facilities, youth programs, and internationally respected cycling events. One of the fastest growing is Spin the District, a series of 3 annual criteriums on Atlanta's south side. In case the word criterium is new to you, here's a quick crash course in crits. Criterium just means competition in French. American bike racing started blowing up in the 1950s, the era of Dior and Chanel, when a French word was all it took to sound très chic. As the Criterium-style evolved into elaborate multi-stage road races like the Tour de France, American crits took a different turn, distilling road racing to its simplest form. A short, multi-lap race on a close loop, usually staged on shut-down downtown streets where spectators can get close to the action.
When I hear the word criterium,
fast, speed. They're just going so fast. They're coming by so fast. Feel the wind. That's really crazy.
Crazy.
It's a short circuit race, typically in a city.
You race for about an hour.
It has a lot of corners.
There's a bit of a roughness to it. There's a lot moving around. There's a lot going on.
Dangerous.
It's a little bit dangerous.
Scary as all hell.
Risk, chaotic,
Wicked.
exciting.
Adrenaline.
There's a lot of adrenaline and energy.
A beast of its own.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
We're living through a kind of American crit renaissance, driven by hard-working event promoters and even harder pedaling cyclists. Professional riders are touring the country, youth cyclists are bagging life-changing scholarships, and sports fans are enjoying incredible events in their own backyards. In recent years, the Southeast in particular has led a dramatic crit resurgence with nearly a dozen excellent crits throughout the year, and Spin the District is one that's made a particularly big splash. Under the leadership of event co-founders Wayne Whitesides and Michael Barman.
Do we look too far away from each other? Do we look like we like each other? Wayne Whitesides, I'm going to admit this right now. I was born in Illinois. I try to keep that a secret. Raised in Iowa, been in Georgia now since '93.
Hello, I'm Michael Barman. I'm from Muskegon, Michigan. Grew up in Clearwater, Florida.
He's from Florida. When you look at pictures of us when we were younger, we look a lot alike.
A lot of our moms shopped at the Sears catalog together.
My dad bought me a World Sport, and then I got a Super Latour. And then when I was 13, I bought that bike right there, which I still own, my Schwinn Peloton. And I would take whatever money I had, or I'd ride my bike 20 miles to the bike shop, to Jerry and Sparky's. I'd give them $20. They would take the bike from the back, let me ride it around the parking lot. I'd hand it back to them, and then I would ride home. So that's really how I got into through attrition of riding 40 miles.
I think we're going to have to Google Maps this 20 miles.
It was 20 miles.
I think we're going to have to.
Princeton, Iowa to Davenport, Iowa. Look it up. 20 miles.
We'll look it up.
We did look it up. Sure enough, at age 13, Wayne would ride 41.2 miles round trip by himself to make payments on his Schwinn Peloton. No cell phone, no GPS, just a kid that really, really wanted a new bike.
I preferred it from running to get ready for baseball season. And then I did get cut from my high school baseball team all 4 years. So I started racing my bicycle more. I wasn't a very good junior racing cyclist, but I was a Cat 4 first-year senior at 19, and I got pretty good and then stuck with it.
So similar story, except I was going to be a pro football player. And then I stopped growing, and that kind of went away. I moved to St. Louis and started my racing career. It wasn't until college that I actually finished my first Criterium.
In the glory days of the 80s and early 90s, who was your biggest role model?
Greg LeMond's the only reason that you would have started riding in the late 80s or the early 90s.
Or the LA Olympics. That's the first time I realized I wanted to be a track racer, because I saw Rebecca Twigg. I might have fell in love.
In 84?
Yeah.
Road and track racing are great, but there isn't exactly a Tour de France every weekend or a velodrome around every corner. Criteriums, on the other hand, can pop up anywhere. Winners complete the most laps within the time limit. And while anyone can jump in and race crits as an individual, team dynamics add a whole new level, with power pedalers setting the pace, while attacks from all-arounders clear a path for the team's sprinter.
You can race a crit by yourself, and that's fun and great, and then you just worry about yourself. A lot of what makes crit racing fun is that you're racing with a team and with really specific goals in mind, which is to get your sprinter to the finish line first.
So you have 6 racers on the start line, part of a team. Typically you have 2 people who have a much better shot of winning the race than the rest of their teammates. And what makes a great team is having those other teammates committed to those 2 people and just creating the best situation to get those 2 people to come across the line first, or putting them in the position to.
If the sprinter on my team, let's say it's Frank for one race. If Frank wins, I win.
It's amazing. It feels like you won, especially when you're a part of a team like that. It feels like you won the race, and that's the feeling you're searching for at every event you go to.
There are also mini competitions within the race, like Preems, where a cash bounty is placed on a lap and everyone sprints for it. And remember, these fast-paced, risky courses are held downtown with hills and corners that were not designed with bikes or speed in mind. Riders push each other to unbelievable speeds that can lead to dicey situations and quick, sometimes reckless decisions. No guts, no glory, and no cash. So expect to see some guts.
So I was at the Tour of Michigan, and I crashed in this triangular course. And in Michigan, the rocks are very glaciered, so they're round. They're like buckshot. So when you crash, they go in deeper inside you than non-buckshot kind of stuff. So I went over to the medics who were eating ice cream at the back of their ambulance and were uninterested in helping me. So I drove to my 1970 Volkswagen bus over to the big boy, and I had my left leg up, and I'm trying to clean out the wound, and there's just water and everything running into the drain as this father and son come walking in the bathroom, and I'm got a nail brush, and I'm getting all the gravel out, getting it all cleaned out, and I get back. I have my big boy burger. I go to sleep in the Volkswagen bus, and it was kind of summerish, so it wasn't cool and it wasn't really warm, but I had a rather inexpensive sleeping bag. And that sleeping bag had interwoven with the scab that I had just cleared off. So I had to do the 3, 2, 1.
My parents were part of the Quad City Bicycle Club, and they were corner marshals for the Moline Criterium, which was one of the biggest criteriums in the Midwest. They didn't want to deal with me. I was like 11 or 12 years old, I think. I think I was 12. So I did, and I went and I sat on this corner. And this guy crashed, and it took literally a hunk of meat out of the side of his calf. And he got up and just kept going. I'm like, that's amazing. But then that hunk of meat literally stayed on the course. And for the rest of the day, everybody kept running it over. And I just was fascinated by it. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And I'm like, I'm going to do this. This is pretty awesome.
It was different times.
He got up and just, whatever, just kept racing.
Yeah.
Well, I know he finished. Yeah. I mean, there's usually crashes every
The road race crashes are usually far worse than the Criterium crashes.
Yeah, it's usually just some road rash and maybe a broken collarbone, maybe.
Every now and then.
Yeah.
And has the element of danger kept Criteriums from thriving? Of course not.
How have you watched Criterium racing and cycling change from when you guys got into it? What have you guys been seeing as you work in it, ride in it?
The basics of Criterium racing are still the same.
Venue-wise, it's changed. When we first started racing in the 80s, there were Criteriums everywhere, and they were more in town, or they were more downtown Criteriums. And then it got to, like, I don't know if funding kind of went away, or I'm not exactly sure, but it became more industrial. Like, the training crit kind of became also the weekend crit.
Yeah.
Downtowns were kind of falling apart, and now recently, it's more going back to being downtown.
Downtown.
Yeah.
Criterium racing ends up being a community's best option for putting on a sporting event that draws people to a downtown area, and that's a big part of what the Criteriums are. Road races are hard because you head out, you go a long ways, and then you might see them 3 times, 4 times throughout the day.
They get to one location, their favorite spot, they'll sit there all day, and they'll watch them ride by, and that's it. You know, I think the great thing about Criterium racing, is that you do get to see them.
You can see all the different fields, all the different
basically
dynamics.
every 2 or 3 minutes they're coming by again. You know, you're getting that rush of those 100 bikes going past you, that noise, that sound.
As more and more communities across the Southeast are embracing crits, event promoters are working closely with city leadership to create new cycling destinations.
Cheers.
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 My name's Andrea Town, but everyone calls me AT. I'm originally from Colorado. My role, I'm Vice President of Marketing and Technology for the ATL Airport District. We are a convention and visitors bureau. The goal here is to bring in visitors, tourism, and build community here.
What's the spin story?
You know, just living on the south side of Atlanta and seeing all the cyclists going by down Main Street, which is a huge cycling corridor for Metro Atlanta, and people come from all over. And I am an event producer of old, so I know how powerful events are in helping build place. And fortunately, I came across Wayne, initially talked to him about, doing some business together, and realized that he was a cycling guru.
You emailed me in 2015. It's now 2024.
Yep.
I read a memo that we wrote for all the cities in 2016.
Yep. When we first brought the idea to them, all of them were kind of like unsure, and we're like, we trust you, but this is a little different. So we've had some bumpy roads to get this going, but now all of our cities fully embrace this. As a matter of fact, it's becoming more entrenched in the culture of the city itself. So for example, in College Park, they built a really cool bike fix-it station for people to ride by, and that was built by the local business community. It's just really evolving, and I think, as time moves on, we're going to be seeing even more civic pride around the events.
Yeah.
One local brewery has even developed a limited edition Spin the District lager.
Oh, yeah.
How many other races have their own beer?
We do.
We do. And we've become kind of one of the bigger events in the South.
Cheers to that, guys.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Cheers.
People are starting to come from all over. We had, 31 states and
17 countries?
So 17 countries or something like that last time?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Pros travel from all over the world to compete in Spin the District, and the live stream is viewed around the globe.
Union City is a triangular, pretty flat, rather well lit up the home stretch, a little dark on the backside. It goes past the Green Manor. Hateville is probably one of the top 5 or 6 Criterium courses in the country. You get some right and some left-hand turns, a lot more elevation change. You still have a chance if you start in the back to win the race. Teams can't necessarily gang up on individual riders, and individual riders have a better chance of racing well. And then College Park just has a huge hill in it and some technical descents. So that course is built for a very specific rider. When you go to the line in College Park, there's probably about only 5 or 8 people that know that they can win the race that day.
If you've been to a crit in person, and especially if you've been to Spin the District, then you know, the vibe is epic.
It's kind of changed my whole view of the South Side and how the South Side works.
We're all Southsiders.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm just proud of what we've done. This is our 7th year. Pretty much every racer in the country knows who we are. Feel honored, like, that people know the events we do and that we're doing, and people are coming to race them. They enjoy them. They always talk about the party we put on. I'm almost as proud of that. Union City, we've been kind of making this kind of a disco thing, which I think has been going really well.
Everyone loves it.
Yeah, it's amazing. Hapeville we've turned that into kind of a street party, which I think really
Happy hour,
like stringing up lights, happy hour because it's Friday night, and then Sunday is like a big community festival for College Park.
These two guys are really, really good at what they do, and I love that. It makes me so proud. People are literally coming from all over the world to be here and to race in our small towns.
I'm going to get all sentimental here, but
Don't make me tear up.
we've become really good friends.
Yeah. I love you guys.
No, yeah, exactly.
I do.
Like,
big old puffy heart.
I've been proud to work with you and Barman.
Same.
It's been amazing.
Same.
10 more years. Let's do it.
Cheers to that.
For lifelong cyclists like Wayne and Barman, crit racing is an evolving passion.
I see bicycle race promotion as the way to give back as you age in the sport. So you race a little bit less and you promote a little bit more as your hip doesn't work or you can't go as fast as you used to. And that's my way of giving back.
A big change also in cycling in our era was there really wasn't masters racing. They retired and they became more of a mentor. They put on the events. So now you have masters races. And so we can rate, like, there's every opportunity every week to do races.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just the type of person that if I see something that's not being done, I just start doing it. And then eventually it just grows and grows and grows. And then, you know, hopefully someone will take over for us at some point. I want to see more juniors in the sport. I want to see more women. That's really what, you know, more diversity. I just want to see more people just riding their bikes.
The women's racing's been maybe not number strong, but the racing itself has been very good.
I mean, the kids today
are phenomenal. Great sports people.
And they're fun to be around. Like, I love putting on events for them.
They're racing for all the right reasons.
Yeah.
We'll talk to some of Atlanta's amazing youth riders later. They're a huge part of the crit experience, with pro races, amateur races, youth races, all the way down to the fan favorite, kids races. This is where I come in. Oh, no. I'm not a child. I literally should be coming in, right?
You ready?
For me to pull up a chair?
There, right now. Hi, I'm Tegan, your narrator. I work with Wayne at Ethic Creative Works, and he's helping me train for my first Criterium in a few months, even though I'm not a cyclist. Yet.
Hi, I'm Tegan. I'm from Virginia. I run in my free time and sometimes go to the gym, and I'm here to learn and get fit and experience cycling from a layperson's perspective and see what it's all about.
But your dad's a cyclist,
yes.
Right?
Yeah, my dad, as long as I can remember, has been biking to work, going on rides. I'm going to catch up.
Right, you're going to catch up now. So growing up, you did, if I remember correctly, you said you used to watch the Tour de France with your dad?
I like the Tour de France because the people who went to go see it would dress up in funny outfits. And I think as a kid, I was like, well, that's fun. I made my parents make me one of the King of the Mountain jerseys because I liked the polka dots when I was a kid, and I would wear that to school. Yeah, so I always had this idea of cycling, but the Tour de France was really all I knew. And I saw the disco bike. I loved seeing everything. We were watching the live streams in the office and listening to the music, and yeah, it's really cool. I've, since working here, learned a lot, but I definitely still count as the newbie of kind of the whole studio.
Right.
As far as cycling goes.
I'm going to give you my cell number. Okay. And if you ever feel unsafe, call me or text me. I'm going to live a little vicariously through you. I mean, you're like half my age and half my weight, but I'm going to see if, it's possible. So
Well, we're all going to wish you the best
Thank you.
as this goes forward.
Not all three.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We'll see how this goes.
Next time you see me, I'll be deep in the grind, chasing crit readiness. In part 2 of our series, Spin the District kicks into high gear, bringing you inside the heart of the action. We follow a full lineup of riders as they take on the races of the Dirty South, pushing their limits, refining their strategy, and preparing for the battles that lie ahead. From the grueling training sessions to the tense moments before the starting gun, we're there, witnessing the highs, the heartbreaks, and the raw intensity of the 2025 Spin the District crits. Each rider has a story to tell. The pros, Georgia's own powerhouses, Andy Scarano and Ty Magner, fighting for dominance at the top. The club riders, 16-year-old junior Madison Willis stepping confidently into her second full season, and veteran racer Render Davidson, a steady force on the Metro Atlanta cycling racing team. The first timer, that's me, Tegan Frost, taking the starting line for the very first time, because becoming a champion has to start somewhere. Speed, strategy, grit. This is Spin the District, and this is why we spin.
Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2.
You ready, Artur? Does Barman look like he wants to punch me?
Howdy.
I wouldn't move around too much.
That was so nerve-wracking.
People look for but never